Welcome to Awesome Code. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn how to initialize a vector from a standard library in C++. I have already included IOStream. Now I'm going to include vector. Include vector. And in our main function, we are going to initialize a vector in several ways while declaring it. So first I'm going to type vector of type int, and I will name it v1, and this will have values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we are going to initialize another way. So this would be vector of type int, and now I'm going to use v2 and a round bracket instead of curly braces, and this will be 3, and the second one will be 1. So this will create a vector with 3 elements, and for example like this over here, and this will become of a vector of 3 elements with 3 ones as values for this vector. So here it means create vector with 3 elements, and the elements values will be 1. And now I'm going to create another one with 3 elements whose value, this will be v3, and here we are going to pass in 3 and or just a single argument, and this is equal to v3 our vector 3, and it will have 3 values initialized to 0. A vector can be initialized from another container in several ways. We can use copy construction. That means from another vector only, which copies data from second vector. For example, we have this another vector of type int, and I will name it v4, and we are going to initialize it with v1, our vector v1. And now we are going to see another example, vector of type int, and this will be our v5 initialized with our vector 2 v2. This is using copy construction. We can also use a move construction from another vector only, which moves data from second vector. So this would be, for example, if I will create another vector of type int, and name it v6. And here we are going to, I'm just adding this one so you know where move is coming from our standard library. And over here, we can pass in v3. And we can do like this too. Vector of type int and is our v6. And this will be our from standard move, and we are going to pass in v4. And I will add using namespace std. Need to have semicolon after these. This should be v7 because we already have v6 over here. We can also initialize by using iterator or range copy construction, which copies elements into our vector. Oh, let's try that one. This would be our vector 8, vector of type int, and v8, and inside we are going to copy vector 1's begin position and v1 dot begin plus 3. That means it's going to copy the first 3 element of v1 vector to our v8 vector, or initialize it. And now we will see how we can initialize vector from array. So if we have our array A with these values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can initialize our vector of type int. This will be our vector 9, v9, and we are going to pass in A, and this will be the start of our array, and then A plus 3. So this means it will copy or initialize our vector 9 with these values, the first 3 elements, the 1, 2, and 3. And now we are going to initialize a vector from a list. Let's create a list. List of type int my list 1, 2, 3. And now we are going to initialize our vector of type int, and this will be v10. And here we are going to start from my list dot begin and my list dot end. So it will copy all the elements or initialize our vector 10 with all these array list values 1, 2, 3. We can also use assign member function to re-initialize after its construction of a vector. For example, over here we have this one, vector 3, which has 3 values. All are set to 0. And now I'm going to re-initialize this vector. So I will use v3 dot, and now I'm going to call assign a member function. And here I'm going to set the number of elements and the values. So this will be 3, and all those elements will have a value 100. So this will be same as v3 100 100 and 100. Now I'm going to iterate over our vector. I'm just going to print this vector 3. So we can use the iterator with for. So this would be for vector of type int iterator. And I'll name it, and we can call v3's begin, start our iterator from the start of our vector, and we are going to check it not equals to v3 end until we have not reached the end of our vector. We are going to increment our iterator, and we are going to print it out the elements of our vector, asterisk sign, and our iterator, and space between each values. And now we can run our program and check the result. I also need to include lists because we are using list in our code. after include vector, I'm going to include list and run the program. And here is the output of our vector. To keep on learning, please subscribe to my YouTube channel as same code. Like my video, keep supporting me, and thank you for watching.